It's Big Key and that's how I do it. Where that money, let's get to it. What's good, y'all? You already done know it's your girl Keke Meech. And yes, I got my little hat on and my sweater because it is getting cold in Texas right now. Anyways, in this video, I really wanted to lay the foundation for an actual business plan. I strongly suggest that you go back and you watch the rest of the videos of this series because it's gonna give you a full 360 view of everything that I'm doing. I'm building myself up as an artist from 0 to 100 and I'm showing you guys the journey. And so in the last video, the part 1 to this video is basically me showing how I went about opening up my business entity, because as an independent artist, of course, I want to be as professional as possible and be running my business like a 6-figure business from day one. So I did all of that and I went through the steps on the document that I provided you guys in that video for how to open up an LLC in the state of Texas. For those of you that are Canadian, you know, I definitely took care of y'all because yes, I've opened a business in Canada before. You can also open up a business in America even though you're not a resident. Make sure you go check out that video before this one. And if you did watch that video, then you know that I said I have a little treat for y'all in this video. Now, make sure you stick around to the end of the video, baby, because I have a little bit of tea for y'all. Oh my goodness, I'm just learning so much on this journey and I feel like I want to put everything that I'm learning and then apply it to the next project and the next one and the next one. Let's get this video going.
I've got the juice and Apple's mine. Apple Watch, that's Apple time. I was born an Apple lover. Bitch, I'm smooth like apple butter.
I'm going to show you guys this business planner that I created to help me lay the foundation for the actual business plan. And I always like to say that the business planner is basically you outlining your goals and your dreams, and then the business plan is the roadmap to get there. So I'm not going to go through the entire document, but if you guys would like a copy of this, you can click the link in the description box and you can get that free version. And remember, I also told you guys in that last video, make sure you are saving your passwords. When I opened up my first business, I tried to use the same password for everything, thinking that, okay, you know, that's how I'm gonna remember it. But then what would happen is that they would do like a secondary verification, or they would make you put in a new password because maybe you almost got hacked or whatever it is, they're trying to protect you. Y'all, you gotta make sure that you are keeping your stuff together. Another thing that y'all can do to make sure that you're staying on top of things is having a external hard drive. It is my saving grace because I always make sure that I back up my files onto that. Additionally, in that previous video that I made when I created my business entity, all of those passwords to those websites, I'm going to put into this password tracker list right here. So now we are at the next section of this business planner and it says define your business. For me, I created an LLC. My business name is the Plug Access. My business address is the virtual address that I created online. And then make sure you guys have a professional email. I cannot tell you how unprofessional it looks when you message people when it comes to business from a Gmail account or an Outlook account. Like, it's just not professional. So make sure that it's going to be blah, 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 blah at yourbusinessname.com. The next section is to define your products. If we scroll down here, we have income ideas. When you define what your products and services are, you have to understand what your options are as an independent artist to even make money. It's much different than working for a label because you have a lot more creativity with how you want to set up your business. Here are some income ideas, and you guys can go and look at this document because I'm not going to talk about every single business idea on here, but I'll just say some of the more underlying ones that maybe not everybody is talking about online. So the first one I wanted to mention is music. So way back in the day, the soft, mellow music in the background of establishments like restaurants, malls, stores, they would call that music. Now, in today's culture, we don't necessarily just have slow, chill music in the background of establishments. We actually have every genre that you can think of. And there's services out there that are like the liaison between the artist and the establishment. You have to pay as an establishment to play music because it's helping you create an ambiance. It's helping you make money. You have to pay these artists for their work. And so the way that they do that is they'll pay like a blanket license just for like a huge catalog of songs. And that's where the third-party service comes in. Okay, y'all, I am at the very last shoot. I did the trailer, the intro song, and the outro song. So now we're doing Schoolgirl K, and this is literally the last song that I had to record. So I literally just got like an all white background vibes. I'm not gonna do nothing too crazy because honestly, y'all, I've been through so much with this whole project. Like, I was supposed to actually rent a whole different studio and do a different vibe, but that didn't work out. Long story short, we not doing it. So I'm literally just going to do some BTS. This is what the music video is gonna be. It's just gonna be BTS of me rapping, taking pictures, and that's the music video. Very simple. Yeah, and I look cute. So anyways, I'm about to really get started and start getting in my vibe. Let's go.
I know you wanna be with you, can never be, and it won't let you do what I would let you do, and I won't give you what they love. So as you can see, we can never be, no, no.
I wanted to mention that this is different than music publishing. So for example, say you had a publishing manager that was controlling your catalog. Their job would be more to get your music into television shows, commercials, movies, or video games, things like that. And then Muzak is a little bit different in the sense that they're just the background music. So I wanted to mention that because those are two different processes, even though they're still licensing music. Another creative income idea as a performer or musician or composer is the American Federation of Musicians of USA and Canada. So this is essentially the biggest union for musicians in the world. The Canadian version is called the CFM, but it's still the same company. Members perform at various events, including festivals, clubs, and theaters. Members also create compositions for movies, TV, commercials, etc. So if you are a part of this union, they give you certain opportunities. It's not like you're having to do all of the legwork as yourself, which is a little bit different for us independent artists. If we're not a part of the union, we have to go out there and kind of create our own opportunities. And then the last one that I'm going to mention on this income idea sheet, and trust me, there is way more income ideas than what I have on this sheet. I just wanted to give you some of the ones that I think are creative and what I would probably do. Virtual shows. Meta has hosted virtual shows for headlining artists like Travis Scott. He had one of the biggest virtual shows and it was crazy. And I think that people really need to start thinking about the fact that there's people who are paralyzed, there's people who are socially awkward, and so you can tap into this market and make you some coin, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all get into Meta and start doing your research about how to tap into that online market. So if we scroll down, we see product or service, and in this text box right here is where you're going to describe your product or service that you're providing as an independent artist, as an entrepreneur. This doesn't just have to be for artists. It really can transcend any industry.
Look, apple chips, you talking apples, got 'em. Big ass booty, that's an apple bottom. Apple pie, that's the appetizer. Double cup full of the apple cider.
We're gonna scroll down to the next section, which is management. Basically, you just wanna outline all of the different characters or players that are going to help you run your business. I put about 10 different positions. So if y'all need more than that, sorry, print the thing twice, okay? So the next part that I really wanted to actually get into is your purpose. What I've seen with other planners is that they really just ask you what your mission statement is, what your vision statement is, which is all the different components of an actual business plan. I'm trying to get you guys to lay the foundation so that you can come up with a vision statement. So I chose to tailor in a way where I ask you prying questions that really draw out that inner meaning or that inner voice that's going to tell you what your true goals are. So listen, baby. The first question is, what is the reason you want to start or have started your business? So for me, a perfect example is that I wanted to start my business because I have a passion for helping independent I-N-D-E-P-E-N-D. Y'all already know that taught a lot of hoes how to spell that word. So because I have a passion for helping independent artists navigate the complexities of the music business by showing them real life examples with my content. Then I'm gonna go down to this next section. What problems will your product or services solve? This is important because you want to be able to reach the pain points of your customers and understand them to the core so that you can create products and services that are actually going to sell to them, or so that you can make sure that you're selling your products to the people who are actually going to buy them. Because it makes no sense trying to sell your products to people who are not interested in them. You're wasting your time. My products help independent artists become more professional and have successful music careers. Okay, So that's quick and simple. Of course, I could write a whole lot more, but for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna be short and sweet with it. So next we wanna move on to the competition. When you say what or who is your competition, as an independent artist, don't just think about other artists. If you're opening a label, make sure that you're thinking about other labels and see what other labels are doing. Even if they're independent labels or smaller labels, you know, you don't have to go for the super big corporations, because large corporations are run by multiple people. If you're just one person opening a business, you're probably thinking a little bit more on a practical level. How can you turn your competitors' disadvantages into opportunity for your company? Now, this is an important question that helps you to understand how you can turn your weaknesses into opportunities for you to excel. Because competition really isn't competition. It's really just a sign or a signal in the environment of how you can improve if you so choose to. So always think of your business and the feedback that you get from the outer world as optimization data for better results in your business.
I know you wanna be with you, can never be, and it won't let you do what I would let you do, and I won't give you what they love. So as you can see, we can never be, no, no. Give you an inch, but you'd rather take a mile.
Slow down, love, I just wanna see you smile.
Yeah, right, you just only stay a while when the time's right, or for a lack of words when my mind's out of sight. Take the knowledge, instill it in my thoughts, hypnotize my body. If the sex is a winner, I'ma have to take a loss. Put you to the test, show you what the kid caused. Got his DNA on my lips, lost and I lost your intentions. Way deep in my chest, got me gripping on your vest. No clothes off, we ain't get to that yet. Conversation is intense, but I'm still here, and I see clear. Where you headed, playing dumb to the tingle, moving sick with that thing. Flow naturally, but they don't hear me though. I ain't that chick, I make a lot of dough. See an opportunity when you look into my eyes. Oh, trucking ass nigga, just keep riding by. No bad blood between us, but you need to understand that I ain't going for that again. Tell me that you love me, but I know you really don't. Say you're gonna leave it, but I know you really won't. So won't you tell me when? I know you wanna be with you, can never be, and it won't let you do what I would let you do, when I won't give you what they love. So as you can see, we can never be, no, no. Oh, you wanna be with me, won't let you do, let you do, when I won't give you what they love. So as you can see, we can never be, no, no.
I hope y'all liked my little BTS video. I shot it by myself. My idea with this project is that I didn't want to invest a super huge budget, because I wanted to show y'all how you can get started with a small amount of money. I wanted to make sure that I was doing like vlog type styles. You know, it's called Never Mind, I'll Do It Myself. So I'm using my own camera, or I'm getting someone to record me, but then I edit it myself. That kind of creative thing. Now, about the tea, because this tea has to actually do with this video. So essentially what I wanted to do is just have some BTS of someone taking photos of me, right? So let's talk about the freelancer that I hired, y'all, because this is really going to help me moving forward when I hire other people on Upwork. Because let's face it, we do not live in a perfect world, and there's always going to be janky people who are trying to get one over on you. let's move on to what I really want to tell you guys. Now, Upwork, and I'm going to show you guys here on Upwork, but Upwork seems like it's more in the favor of the freelancer, but I don't necessarily think that that's true. You just have to understand their policies and their guidelines. I am super annoyed with what happened, and I'm going to try my best not to get too hostile about the situation because I just want to get to the facts and tell you guys exactly what the issue was here and maybe how to avoid running into an issue like this in the future. This is my ad. Houston photographer needed for compelling urban music video shoot. I wanted to show you guys what the ad looked like because this is going to make sense as I tell the story. So there was a wealth of things wrong with this freelancer from the minute that I hired him.
Hi.
Hello, how you doing?
I was wondering if I can speak to like a manager or something.
Well, my husband is not in today, so you can tell me what's wrong.
Can I just get a little bit more gravy on this?
Oh, what you take this thing for? No, baby. We can't do that. Sorry. We don't have no gravy left. Damn, bro.
But it's just a little sauce.
You didn't hear, so we don't have that no more sauce, gravy,
Okay,
ketchup.
well-
No, not for you. No.
No, like
Me don't know why you even bother come here
the
then.
chicken is just a little dry.
What?
So-
Errol! What, man? You didn't hear, so she said your chicken dry?
I'm not insulting your cooking at all. I'm sure you whip it up.
Move
It's
from
just
here,
like,
sir.
it's just a little dry and I just want some gravy.
No, sir. You can't come on my shop and I disrespect me, sir.
Can I at least get a drink?
No, move
Because,
from here,
like,
sir.
The dryness is like.
Move from here, sir, without the coffin. The store is closed to you.
Can I get a fork?
$5. And if you want a napkin, $6
For a
for
fork?
that. Yes, now go long. Come
Okay, I'll
on.
leave.
But I'm gonna keep my comments about him at a minimum because that's not what this is about. Let's fast forward to the actual shoot. Y'all see that I need him to take photos of me. Nowhere in here does it say anything about him editing my photos, correct? Cool. Upon arriving, I asked him how many photos will he be giving me? He said 5. I asked him if he shoots in RAW. He said yes. And I also asked him, does he offer editing or will he edit my photos for me? And he said yes. I didn't say that I needed him to edit them. I just asked him if he did. Because if you can edit my photos, that would be great. But if you can't edit my photos, I'm gonna get it done the way that I know that I wanna look. We do the shoot, fast forward to him sending me the photos. So he sends me the photos and baby, I look orange. And I told him, I was like, I really don't like this edit. Can you change this? And the aggravating thing about this is that the way he was talking to me was as if I'm just like a little girl. You know what I mean? He was trying to sun me like, oh, I know you don't do this often. And I'm like, why would I pay you more than what you already agreed to? We have a contract. And it was just like the whole time he was just being so pushy and like just not being professional in my opinion. I just wanted to hurry up and end the contract and get it over with. I wanted the raw photos. I didn't want to keep going back and forth with him. And he took some pretty good photos of me. They were okay. And he was like going on like he was the best photographer in the world. He was the best editor in the world. But I wish I could show you guys the photos. I literally look like a burnt orange pretzel, bro. Like I did not look cute. Anyways, I don't know what type of experiences he's had in the past, but all I know is that he was really not trying to give me these raw photos. So I'm just gonna read y'all the conversation so you can get a better understanding of what I'm talking about because you're just not gonna understand if I'm just trying to tell the story. So listen, old boy says, edits are up on my site, same link, same password. About payment, I understand that you're starting out and that the budget is important. I'm sure you're intending to use these commercially for your career. And I don't know why he think I'm just starting out. I don't know what he means by just starting out. Like just because I'm just starting this particular business, what you think that means that I don't do photo shoots? Like I don't understand. I'm sure you're intending to use these commercially for your career. He could tell in my ad that I was gonna be using these commercially. So if you had a commercial price, why wouldn't you put that in the contract so that you and I don't have this conversation and we're not going back and forth about it? Because it's in the contract. Nobody can beat the contract. Normally commercial usage rights are at a very different level than non-commercial rights for images from a portrait session. And this is not a portrait session, by the way, y'all. I didn't go to his studio. He came to mine. I didn't go to his website and hire him. He applied to my ad. Okay. As a way to help you get what you need out of these, I propose $225 for the 6 edited final images with the 3 of important considerations. 1, that you include crediting me as a photographer wherever you use them. I can show you examples of how that looks on different outlets. It goes beyond a tag on Instagram/Facebook. 2, that you tell anyone who asks that I was the photographer. 3, that I have permission to use them in my portfolio. I think that is more than fair and I hope you agree. Please be direct and don't hesitate to raise the budget if you're in a position to do so. Raise the budget. So he want to get paid more than $225 even though we originally agreed $175. Okay. So I said, I already plan on crediting you, but we agreed to a job I already hired you for. Why would I pay you more than that? I was quite clear in my ad about the budget. Additionally, can you send me the photos without the edits? Thanks. If you're charging me that for an extra photo, remove the photo of me pulling my lip to show my teeth, because I put in 6 photos just because I wanted to see how they looked. But I mean, if he was gonna charge me for the photo, that's fine. But the amount that he was charging me for the extra photo and the way he was talking to me like I was a little girl, I was like, no, I'm not giving you extra money. You're done. You're done. So he says, can you tell me what you were expecting to pay for an extra edited image? It will help me understand where you're coming from. I said, I don't need the extra image. 5 is fine. He said, no problem. I'll attach them here later today so you have the full size versions. On topic of unedited images, I don't deliver those any more than a chef would serve an uncooked meal. I'd be happy to explain why if you're interested, but in short, I don't allow anyone to edit my work because it can lead to things being distributed with my name on them that are not my product. Quality control is very important to me. All done with edits, as you saw on my website. I said, I really don't like this edit. I don't see in the contract where we agreed that you'd be editing my photos. I specifically asked for a photographer to shoot, not edit. He said, which edit do you not like? I sent you an example on the day we shot, showing before and after. You had no objections as far as hiring a photographer to shoot and not edit. That's not how it works. I've done hundreds of photo shoots and never once delivered unedited images. I've never heard of a professional photographer who does that, and I certainly don't. If a client is not happy with an editing style, I would expect the client to say, so when given an example, which is precisely why I sent you an example. Now you already know Big Key's gonna come through with her 2 cents. Now this is a longer message, so just bear with me. I said, I'm not concerned about what you expect out of me, nor am I concerned with your past clients. I'm the one paying you, and you're certainly not the only photographer I've worked with, nor will you be the last. My last photo shoot, the photographer delivered me all of the photos from the shoot raw, and we've worked together now 3 times. His work is amazing, and your snooty little attitude about the quality of your work needs to be taken down a few notches, because at the end of the day, I'm not satisfied with what you provided me. Besides that, anyways, I didn't have to say anything about the first photo you sent me because that was not the final product you provided me in exchange for money. Now that you have provided me with the final product, I'm informing you that it's not what I asked you for, period. Upwork is about what I hired you for, not what you feel like you want to do or what you've done for your other clients. We have a contract and you're deviating outside of that. Not to mention, you've been pushy and unpleasant to deal with since I hired you. I chose not to say anything so that we can peacefully complete the project and move on. You're just making things more difficult than they have to be. You're not intimidating me with your past clients. I know what I asked for and I know what I want. I don't have time to argue with you. If you're not willing to give me the photos I specifically paid for, let's go ahead and dispute it with Upwork. I'm already at my wit's end with you. And then I sent him to request a change, and I said, I'll give you one opportunity to send me the raw photos. If you can't do that, we can go ahead and dispute it. Understand that my frustration with him is stemming from the beginning when I first hired him. Like, I was already trying to be professional and polite with him, and he just kept being too pushy. So this is the last message that he sent me, y'all. I specifically sent you an edited example as a final product. I then uploaded watermarked, unedited images, shared them with you in a gallery. You assessed the gallery 5 times on October 28th. I have activity logged on my website, including IP addresses, and you asked for an additional 5 images in addition to the one I had already edited. I edited those images and shared them with you again, this time without watermarks. Just to be clear, I will not be sending raw or unedited images. You are welcome to pay for the work, pay for additional editing, or end the contract. Ending the contract obviously means you forfeit access to usage of any of the images. I'm disappointed at this turn of events, but I will not tolerate insults and unsubstantiated accusations. I'd recommend you work with your previous photographers since you seem so happy with their work. I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. And so I ended the contract and I did not pay him. What you can do if you're not having luck with your freelancer, you don't have to pay them, especially if you deposited the money into escrow. And so basically you guys are supposed to have a correspondence and try and agree. And if you guys can't agree on that level, then what will happen is that Upwork will get involved and they'll propose a solution. If we can't agree on that level, then they'll take it to a third-party service that will decide, and that's going to be the final decision. They're going to make the decision regardless of what you say. They'll read the correspondence, I guess, and try and figure out what they feel like the solution should be, and nobody can dispute that. That's going to be the final decision. I doubt that he's going to rebuttal this back because he said just end the contract and he hasn't disputed it at all. So within 7 days, if he doesn't respond, then the money's going to get deposited directly back into my account. Now here's the thing. He thinks that he is entitled to my photos, and if he uses them, I'm coming for him because you're you're not about to take these photos and use them as yours. Like, it's just not happening. Long story short, he was really just trying to control the whole thing himself, because in his mind, he feels like this is his intellectual property, which in a lot of cases as a photographer it is, but when it's work to hire, it's not. And so because he did not get paid any money for what we did, that means that our contract is void, and that also means that he cannot use my photos either. I'm gonna have to make sure that I stay on top of that, look at his website, look at his social profiles, and just make sure that he's not going to use them, because I'm not satisfied with this freelancer, and I'm not going to allow him to profit or capitalize off of anything that he's done with me.
Let me put y'all up on game. There's 3 places in this world that you can stay for free. The out my business, the out my way, the out my face. I'm talking about rent free.
So to reiterate, I want to make sure that for the next time, I'm not going to run in, or I at least avoid running into an issue like this. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I create a full business document outlining all of my rules for that contract, so that if somebody does try and say anything, not only do I have the correspondence, but I also have a very detailed contract that says everything. So even if this person tries to get one over on me, the contract has outlined everything in very fine detail. And I think that maybe what a lot of freelancers do is they see that, okay, she didn't do a super intricate ad, she probably doesn't know what she's doing, at least this is what they assume. Oh, I can probably get one over on her. And what I personally think he tried to do was get the sale and then try and do sly, sneaky ways to get more money out of me or to get over on me. You know what I'm saying? Because he thought that I was silly. Based on his correspondence and the way that he was talking to me, I can tell that he thought that I didn't know what I was doing. And so I had to make sure that I did my research before I ended the contract, that I would be able to do something about this if he tried me, because you already know, do not try me. So let's just move on to the next thing. I just wanted to give y'all that little tea. But anyways, y'all, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Do you guys think that I was justified in the way that I handled the situation, considering that we are on a work to hire contract because we are on the Upwork platform and that's legally how it works? So I own the copyright, he doesn't own the copyright. On top of all of that, I wasn't happy with his work. So tell me in the comment section, do you guys think that I should have handled that differently? Should I have just taken the edited photos and took my L and paid him? Or was I justified in not depositing the money into his account because he didn't do for me what I asked him to do? And on top of all that, I want to hear from the freelancer's perspective. So help me understand where he is coming from, because like I told you guys, my goal is not to shit on his business whatsoever. I just respectfully wanted what I paid for. So let me know. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about is sales and distribution, because this is probably one of my more favorite topics to talk about. So let's get into it. Using the example of an independent artist, you want to think about how you're going to get your music to the customers. So the first question I'm going to ask myself is, what aggregator will I use to distribute my music and why? Way back in the day, aggregators used to be the liaison between the artist and the facility that is selling their CD. Today, aggregators and distributors kind of go hand in hand. And essentially what they do is they ensure that your music is prepared and able to be on Spotify, Apple Music, all of those different type of things. They'll put that music on there for you. And I wanted to mention this. Remember, we were talking about Muzak or a little bit earlier in the video. Some of these aggregators that will help you get your music onto major DPS platforms, they also have opportunities for you to get your music onto those third-party companies that I was telling you guys about that will get your music played in establishments, hotels, restaurants, that kind of thing. So when you're looking for your independent aggregator, or if you're going with a place like CD Baby that is just an online company, you got to make sure that you're finding a place that's going to help you get those other opportunities to get your music played in other establishments. Speaking of, that brings me to the second question, which is, what service will I use to embed my music with metadata? With music, metadata is the digital information that allows your song registration service to track the sales and uses of your music so that they can compensate you for your work. Whether you're signed up with ASCAP, BMI, or if you're in Canada, you're signed up with SOCAN or SODRAC, they're going to actually go out to these different establishments and collect the money on your behalf. They will also make sure that establishments are paying for the music that they're using, because sometimes establishments will do themselves up and they don't know that they have to pay for music. And so they'll just be using people's music just to use it. ASCAP will go over and be like, excuse me, child, you need to give us that coin. I strongly suggest that you go look at the other videos in this series because I talk about this and kind of how you can go about doing that thing if you haven't already. Don't just rely on CD Baby or whatever aggregator you have. Make sure that you are crossing your T's and dotting your I's and embedding your music on your own, or at least double checking that it's embedded. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna use the ISRC to embed my music with the metadata, and then I'm going to move on down to the ideal customer. So if you could create the perfect customer, what traits would you assign to them? As somebody who is just starting out, you might not know who your target audience is. So for me, I just basically created a customer profile of who I would like to enjoy my products. And now that I've done this project, I can use this project, distribute it, get feedback from my environment, and now I have real numbers and real data to work with. But when you're just starting out, you have to start somewhere. So create your ideal customer. Think about what that person looks like, where they work, how much money they make, their age, do they have any kids, what's their socioeconomic class, what's their yearly income. Ask all of those questions and you will start to develop a profile of a person and understand their habits and their behaviors so that you can go ahead and market to them in those specific places that they're going to be at. All of that stuff is going to help you guys understand where you can market to these people. And then we have expenses. So in this section, you will get an accurate view of how much is going to cost you to start up your business. If you scroll down, I wrote an expense list. For me, when I first created my budget for this project, I basically just had to think about what was my idea for every single video. How much money did I need to spend on each video? So for example, in the ball and shoot, I had to rent out a studio. I had to rent out a camera lens. You know what I'm saying? So I have to really get to the nitty gritty of every single project and scrutinize it and try and at least get a ballpark number for how much things are going to cost. Sometimes things aren't going to be accurate. You have to start somewhere. So sometimes you have to guesstimate. Sometimes you actually have to call businesses or freelancers and ask them about their products and services so that you can get a ballpark number of what people in that industry charge. And then, like I said, once you put out your content, you start to learn, oh, actually this costs this much. Oh, actually I have to account for this when I'm thinking about my price model for that. All of that's going to really help you make informed decisions about what your budget for your next project is going to be. So if we keep scrolling down here now, we have financing. So now you can start thinking about how you'll gain capital for your company. So now you have a budget. You wrote down all of your possible expenses that you're going to need for the project that you're working on, whether it's just a music video, a song, an entire project like I'm doing right now. You have a budget because you did that with the expense list. Lay the foundation for a good financing strategy below. There's probably a wealth of funding opportunities, but I gave you guys a good chunk that you can get started with here within the next few months. So you're going to list your top 3 funding options. It doesn't mean that you're going to use every single one of them, but at least you can weigh out the pros and the cons of each and then make your decision from there. So then we can move down to goals. Now, I just want to always remind people to set SMART goals. Google it if you don't know what it means. They just have to be attainable goals. This business planner defines your goals, and like I told y'all earlier, the business plan is the roadmap to accomplishing those goals that you're going to create with this business planner. The first question is describe your business in 1 year of opening it. So like I told you guys, I'm not going to tell you the exact categories that you need to have in your business plan. That's up to you to go and do the legwork. But I'm going to ask you the specific questions that will help you generate the answers for the specific categories of your business plan. So when you describe your business in 1 year of opening it, not only are you starting to visualize and create a plan of how you're going to get there, you are doing the spiritual work in making it very prominent in your mind's eye. And that is the end of the document. So I created this document with every piece of knowledge that I thought was important as an independent artist who is just starting out, as an aspiring independent artist, or as somebody who is an independent artist. You've been in the game for a while, but you haven't really reached the level that you want to in your career. And I think that every industry, no matter what position that you're in, you always have to have a plan. Gotta know what your goals are. The purpose of this planner was to help you guys define your goals in a much more profound way that's really gonna get you off your buttocks and doing what you need to do, baby. That's the video, guys. I always like to talk about what I've learned, especially when I do a shoot or I do something that I haven't really done before. I need to make sure my contracts look very professional. Whatever I hire you for, I need to outline what I expect from you. That's the video, guys. But anyways, I gotta go, baby. I'm hungry. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.